here to talk today about the effects of alcoholism on people in the family or possibly interventions for alcoholism. And Shannon's here to possibly help us with some of those questions. Do you or have you ever known someone addicted to alcohol?
Yes. My mother's husband, who is deceased, actually died from alcoholism.
Okay, all right. Well, obviously it's not the same with every individual, but were there any significant tells that they were on alcohol, or maybe any like long-term side effects?
Every time he had to drink something, he was drinking alcohol. One of the biggest things is when she would get rid of the alcohol and she'd think it'd all be out of the house. She'd still find a 40 ounce Colt hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Long-term effects is you get so drunk you pee your pants and vomit and pass out wherever you are.
Okay, well, fair enough. So you would say, like, with her trying to hide or get rid of the alcohol, or him trying to hide the alcohol and her trying to get rid of it, that would be him not being very receptive to her help. I'm guessing she did try to talk to him before this.
Oh yeah, there was no help.
Okay.
He was drinking.
Right.
Whether he could openly drink or not, he was going to have something in his hand at all times.
Okay. Was this person ever able to quit, or did they ever try to quit? Was there an intervention from the family?
We did all get together and talk to him about his drinking and how it was affecting people, and just the fact that it affected me because I had to watch my mother take care of him like he was a 5-year-old.
Right.
I would have left him and let him wake up in it, but she wouldn't, so that was a thing, and it took more control of him than us and our words, so he eventually died of liver disease.
Okay. Well, to kind of wrap this up and to the point of what you just said, can any specific ways this affected family or friends around him?
Some of us don't pick up any alcohol at all. Wouldn't even think about it. I don't want to be that belligerent and unknowledgeable about the things that I do. So I think those that want to not turn out like that definitely knows what not to do.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Of course, thank you.
When throwing an intervention, the first step is to get them to admit with themselves, that they have a problem. Because when talking to someone that thinks they don't need help, oftentimes it feels like talking to a brick wall. We want this person to get help, and we want to be the help for them. But for someone to take the help, they have to admit that they need it themselves.
Have you noticed Cody acting strangely lately? It's like he's addicted to something.
I can't say that I have, but I mean, you see him a lot more than I do. What's raising your suspicion?
Well, he's acting strangely, and I've seen empty bottles of liquor around the house, but he keeps denying it, but I just think it's him.
Nobody else in the house drinks? And for you to bring it up to me, or you must be worried about him. So it's bad then.
Yeah.
I had been, because you know how I'm still in school, I had recently seen this research that came from BMC's Health Research Center, and they were talking about how you can throw an intervention, and as long as you kind of follow a step-by-step basis, you can kind of, or it's the best way to throw one at least. And I know that can be of help to someone. Do you think that, is it at the point where you think we need to implement that?
Yeah, I want to try it.
You want to try it out for him? Let's try it. You know, Cody, do you have any idea why I asked you to meet me in the park today?
No, man, I thought we were just going for a walk.
Well, we are going for a walk, and I think it's a nice day to do that. I think you would agree.
Feels good.
But I've just I just wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay.
Something that has maybe been been brought to my attention. I don't know if it's been brought to yours. Maybe it needs to be.
All right.
I've been your dad had come to me about some concerns that he has for his son, for you.
Okay.
What he was telling me, which I don't know if it's exactly true, but I care enough to try to explore it, is that he had told me he thinks you may have a little bit of a drinking problem.
No, I drink a little bit. You know, I don't think I drink that much. I don't think I have a drinking problem.
So you don't think it's a problem?
I don't believe so. No.
Another thing he had kind of mentioned to me is that he had found these empty bottles, but you kind of denied that it was you. Do you have any idea of what I'm talking about? And this may not be recent, so maybe you don't.
No, I do. Quite recently, actually.
So
they were mine. I just didn't want to talk about it that day. But I didn't think I was drinking too much or anything like that.
okay. So maybe you haven't been drinking too much in general. Just for today, coming to meet me, you didn't have to prepare for anything, did you, or have anything to get you going?
I drank a little bit in the morning. You know, just a little bit.
And everybody drinks a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So, what do we mean by just a little bit?
I had these 2 little ones of whiskey.
It's 11 o'clock, Cody. We're just all we're doing is really going for a walk.
Well, I mean, you know, it wakes me up, and yeah, I think you guys are probably right, huh?
Well, it's not about us thinking that we're right. It's not being about right or wrong. It's about you coming to the realization that maybe you're just not in control as much as you thought you were. Not that this makes you a bad person or an idiot, but what this does make you is maybe somebody who just needs a little help. And what I hope that we can be as your friends and family is there to help you. And so I know that you have been, and you've already admitted to me that you had denied it to your dad, but I think maybe if we can just admit it to ourselves, we can maybe try to start getting somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Think we can do that?
Yeah, I can.
I'd like that.
All right.
When throwing an intervention, you want to make sure that the person is not around what could be a trigger for them, whether this be a substance or person.
Cody, why are you being like this?
Why am I being like what?
You're being considerate.
No, I'm not.
You're hurting your family.
I love my family.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not hurting them.
What are you talking about?
You're being selfish.
No, I'm not.
You're letting this addiction take over.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And why don't I?
Because you're not in my household.
And have you talked to your family?
Not recently.
When's the last time you saw them?
A couple days ago.
And when was that? How did that go?
8:30, maybe?
How did that go?
Not great, but...
Exactly. You're hurting your mom and your dad. You're hurting your family. How do your siblings feel about this?
I'm done.
Why'd you do this?
Because I wanted to.
You're hurting your family.
No, I'm not.
You're being selfish.
No.
I'm not talking with an idiot.
When throwing an intervention, you want to make sure to implement theory-based application into it. What this means is putting things into it that are backed up by research or studies. For example, the Public Library of Science has stated that if you throw an intervention within a place, such as a garden or park, it can be associated with improved mood and emotion, enhanced cognitive function, as well as a reduction in stress-related illnesses.
You know, this is actually a really nice, I'm glad we chose to come here. This is actually a really nice spot. We've got, I've been seeing a lot of birds, been seeing a lot of squirrels, just things that are, I don't know, it's just making me feel really connected to life, and it's making me feel a lot better, to be honest.
Yeah, I especially like being this close to the woods, but I like being like fully in it.
Right.
Because that can be somewhat distressing to some people.
And the light's nice out. I
Yeah.
feel like the light's hitting my face. I'm getting all these sun rays. I feel like that's honestly just making me feel a lot
Right.
better too.
Very tranquil.
Beautiful day, tranquil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think this is good. I think this would be a good spot to maybe bring somebody if they ever needed something.
Yeah, I agree.
When throwing an intervention, you want to make sure that the person feels comfortable, because if the person feels uncomfortable, they are likely to leave the intervention, to not listen to your words, and to want to get away from you and the situation entirely, when ultimately you want the person to listen to you and you want to help them. So make sure that they feel comfortable throughout the entire thing.
Cody, do you know why you're sat here?
Not really.
Well, you should.
Okay.
You get me?
Not. Do you care to elaborate? I don't fully get you. No.
I think you've got a problem. I think you know you have a problem.
Well, before we get into that, do they have to be here for whatever this is?
Do you have to drink? Let's address that.
Man, I didn't even tell them yet.
Well, they're already here, aren't they? How do you feel about this?
I feel very uncomfortable in this current moment right now.
I think you just feel uncomfortable in your own skin.
In this moment, yes.
No. Period. And I think it needs to stop. Now.
And drinking is gonna make me feel more comfortable. Not drinking is gonna make me feel more comfortable in my skin.
It'll make you feel better.
It does.
I think you're a lost cause, Cody.
That was
Get
the
outta
one
here.
healthy thing on this side.
We're done.
Okay.
When throwing an intervention and reaching the point where you need to produce it, gather everybody who loves and cares about them and that you know has their best interest at heart, that is willing to listen and be patient with them. Gather them, make sure you've met all the previous requirements and steps, and then try to reach a resolution with the person through the intervention.
We're very concerned about you because you're addicted to alcohol. Your health is not going to be good, and as your dad, I want what's best for you, and that's stopping. So we decided to do an intervention for you.
And
Alright.
we brought you to, and I see that you're even trying to do what we had talked about, replacing your drink. I see you have water. We had talked about coffee, but honestly, anything's better than drinking alcohol at 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's just kind of something to do with my hands, you know.
Right. And it's a beautiful day in the park for us to meet and to try to get together. Lord have us. And Cody, we appreciate you coming to the realization as your family that cares about you, that maybe you do have a problem and maybe we do need to work on some things. And we're just here to talk to you about how you're feeling through all of this, and we really would love to get to a resolution of a point where we can, of course, get you sober completely, but we understand that this is a matter of day by day. And just what are your concerns? What are your struggles with it? We really want to know when we want to help you.
I mean, I think you kind of said it is just very day by day. I can say that I want to get clean one day, and then the next day, you know, whatever happens, and I just immediately want to go to another bottle. I'm not saying I'm gonna do all this perfectly, but I'm trying.
And we appreciate that more than anything, Cody. We really do. And we think that maybe we can continue this course of just trying to replace it, and just getting out in nature and really trying to appreciate and replace these, well, I don't want to see bad things in life, because obviously this we understand alcohol has been something you've coped with.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to say that it's necessarily this bad thing, but it's something that's taken control. And maybe if we can replace it with getting outside, getting with your family, and replacing these bad habits with good habits, and just trying to see the finer things in life with support from everybody around you, because we are here and we care and we want to be here for you, and we just wish that, and we're so proud of what you've done and how far you've already come, but we just want you to try to stick to it, and we want to try to check in on you as we go.
You guys might need to check in a little bit more often. I might even say that you should, even if it's a little bit annoying to me, because I might be actively drinking.
And I appreciate that honesty and that transparency, and I think moving further we will try to check in on you more, even if it does, quote, bother you. But we're here for you, Cody, and we're really gonna make something out of this, and we're proud of you, and we're right behind you all the way. We really are. And I think your father would agree and say even more.
Yeah, I do agree.
We love you, Cody.
Love you guys too.
When throwing an intervention and you've already met with the person, make sure that the next step is planning sustainability. This can look different for every person. Some people may have to take a cold turkey approach, but not all will. For our person, we are going to implement a fending off, if you will, teetering off of it. We will have sustained check-ins frequently through meetings, through phone calls, and we will also have a reward-based system to make the person feel like they are making progress and doing a good job, because they are, and we appreciate it.
Cody, I'm proud of what you've been doing, and I think we just need to keep this boat moving. We need to keep it pushing forward. And I know you've already been kind of leaning off of the drink, and obviously you've continued to do that this morning, and we're really doing a good job. And so one thing I think we need to continue to do is to lean off the drink. We're not going to take you off of it completely. We know this is a hard step, and so we're just going to try to decrease that weekly, and hopefully maybe we can get to a point where you're not needing that drink and it's not causing you any physical or mental problems. And another thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get with you more. We're going to really try to be here and supporting of you, because we know that this is a tough time for you. It's been a tough time for us, and we're just going to try to make it manageable and make it sure this is something you can actually do, because if we can't maintain it, what all is this really for?
Yeah. I agree. I was really glad that you said that you weren't going to take me off cold turkey. I've tried that in the past, and even whenever it's just myself, it yields much worse results.
Right. Sometimes you even rebound even worse trying to take that away completely.
I have, yes. Also, something that you said a little bit earlier, it kind of caught my attention, and it's kind of been a little bit of a question in my mind since we started this conversation, or
Right.
these kind of conversations. The goal is to make it to where I don't need to drink anymore, right? Because people drink. It's not the goal is to make it to where I don't drink anymore. It's just I don't need it.
Well, the goal is, for you to not need it is definitely one way to have it, but when somebody goes out to a party and they have one drink and then they go home and then they don't drink again for a couple months, that's maybe one thing. But when somebody goes out and drinks in the morning, and then let's say they go out and they have more than a couple, right? And
Yeah.
maybe that's a little different. So at the point we are now, I don't believe you fall into that first category, but I believe maybe the goal is to get you to the point where you can be in front of alcohol, and maybe you can see it and
Say no to it.
not get set off and say no to it even. And
Okay.
just, we want to get you to a point ultimately where you're healthy and you can live your life at the best you can.
All right. Thank you. You guys gonna be calling me anymore, or?
I think your dad was telling me about this.
I'm going to be calling you 4 or 5 times a week, and on days I can't call you,
Okay.
I'm going to be meeting up with you, and I'm going to be doing unprepared visits to your house.
Okay.
So be prepared for those too. Yeah, we'll be checking up on you a lot more than usual.
Well, I'll be happy to see you.
So we're gonna check in with you, Cody, and we're gonna try to get everything sorted out. And thank you for meeting with us again, and we love you, Cody.
I love you guys. You're welcome. Thank you guys.
After throwing your intervention, you want to check on the person. This makes them feel cared for, and it also allows you to evaluate their development. Are they still struggling? How have they dealt with the leaning or completely off of the substance? Ask them how they are doing, check in on them, and see if they're experiencing any withdrawals or personal struggles.
So Cody, how you been feeling recently? Have you been doing good, or how you been doing?
Yeah, I think I've been doing good. I feel a lot better. Talking to more people.
Okay.
Yeah. Hygiene is also a little bit better.
Hygiene's
Honestly,
better.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like you've been able to kind of get closer with everybody that maybe you felt like a wall was up with?
Not everyone, but I have made progress with quite a few people. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get some of those walls down, but that's okay. I'm trying to get through that.
And what's great is we're at a point where we are acknowledging it and we are getting better. Last time before we went on a walk like this, I remember asking you, had you had anything to drink recently, and have you been drinking recently as well?
I have, but not in the same way. A couple nights ago, me and some friends went out to a bar. I had a few shots. Not too much that I couldn't get home safe, and I didn't bring anything home with me.
And so you don't have anything at your house?
No, I don't. I'm definitely waiting a good while before I do bring alcohol back into my home.
Okay. Well, Cody, we know that this isn't easy, but we are here for you, and we really care. And not only are we proud of what you're accomplishing for yourself, but we appreciate that you're doing it for us, because this is something that is truly crucial. And so the fact that we can be here for you and that you can be here for yourself, it means the world.
Thank you.
As an addict yourself, what has that experience had on you?
Well, I guess it changes everything in your life. You become a person that you weren't before. And it affects all your relationships. It can affect your work life, your home life. It touches every area in your life. But it is a disease, and it can be treated.
What are some things that has personally helped you get through your addiction?
Treatment definitely helped. They give you tools that you can use to get by, on your hard days. Just getting sober is the easy part. And it's staying sober day after day that it seems to be the hardest. So you have to stay away from your old habits, your old friends, the old places that you used to go. You have to completely change your routine. And God helped me a lot.
What are some of the effects that it had on your family and your interpersonal relationships?
Oh, it puts a strain on every relationship, whether it's your parents, your siblings, your children, your spouse. Addiction is hard on everyone that loves you, not just the person going through it.
And so do you believe that being sober is worth the journey of fighting through that addiction?
Oh, absolutely. There are better days on the other side. Addiction sneaks up on people. It can take years to form a habit like that. And by the time you realize it, it's too late.
So replace those habits with better ones.
Exactly.